Hello, my name is Rayleigh, and I like to build in The Sims 4. Welcome to my channel. I have a friend, her name is Val. She makes Sims content. She's on YouTube as TheSorrySimmer. I'm gonna put up a card here so you can go directly to her channel if you don't know her yet. She likes to invent challenges in The Sims, and her streams are really fun. I'm gonna be honest, Val, I don't watch many of your videos, but I do try to catch as many of your streams as possible. She is just such a charming, friendly, positive person. It's just a lot of fun. Oh my goodness. She's just a lot of fun. And I like to tease her for her obsession with not just putting too many windows, in my opinion, too many windows, but also her obsession with having to have something on every single wall. And it's something I like to gently tease her about in her chat, and by gently I mean screaming in all caps, but it's okay because she knows that for the most part I'm teasing and being friendly. And Val, please don't hate me, I love you. Okay. So jokingly I said I should make you a house, and the Val house would just be completely windows. And she jokingly responded, yeah, you should. And then I was like, wait, no, I'm gonna make you a house. And she was like, what? And I was like, yes. And I told her quickly, what would your ideal house, like what would the aesthetic be? And she mentioned like 6 things. And then I was like, okay, don't give me anything else. This is all I have to go off of. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make you a house in The Sims 4. And she was like, no, you don't have to do that. I was just kidding. And I was like, I'm doing it. You're gonna like it. And so friends, we have this. This is a very, I love this house. I don't even know what to say about it. So the yellow facade with all those panels with the windows that we have at the front was pulled directly from a reference image that I will post somewhere on the screen. And the back was influenced by an additional reference image, but it turned out a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be, but it kind of worked out perfectly. In terms of like playability, it's not always fun to have a 1-bedroom house. So this technically is a 2-bedroom, but could easily be a 3-4 if you renovate some of the rooms. And it's just, I don't know, this house just felt good to build. So okay, Val said her perfect house would be homey, musical, colorful, modern, classy. It would have exposed brick, and then I don't remember at what point, but at some point we had decided she needed a waterfall. So this has all of those things. I didn't totally know what she meant by wanting a musical home. That kind of stumped me, to be honest. So I went the most direct route, and I just put a lot of musical instruments. But not only that, I got to check something off my building bucket list that I have ongoing, which is to put a recording studio inside someone's house, to like have a personal recording studio, and I got to do that. So this has its own personal recording studio downstairs, which is, it's very cute. It's inspired by one of my mom's friends who is a musician, and his personal recording studio, I mean, it's not his personal, it's his business, but it's got lots of rugs and lots of warm colors and like twinkly fairy lights. It's very cool. His has rugs hanging from the ceiling to help with acoustics and because it looks cool. I didn't do that because the whole point of his that like looks cool, they like curve and like are hanging from the ceiling. And when I could use the tool mod and put a rug on the roof, but it wouldn't hang down and have that like fabric to it. It wouldn't give the same effect, so I did not do that. But I did put lots of rugs on the ground. So this house, you could probably argue, is pretty bohemian. I wouldn't say it's bohemian in like the Pinteresty traditional way. A lot of times when people make boho aesthetic in The Sims. It's a lot of plants, it's a lot of wicker, it's a lot of neutral tones, there's a lot of candles, lanterns. But there's also like a cottage-esque feeling to it, and that there's no cottage feeling to this house. But there are a lot of candles and there are a lot of plants. And I used a lot of those wickery, I don't know, braided rugs that we got from Laundry Day. So, I mean, I guess it's kind of bohemian, but I just wanted it to feel colorful and homey, but with a modern twist. I think a lot of times when people build modern, it's really cold and minimalistic type modern, more of like a Bauhaus style. But lately I've been really into making these pretty rigid modern exteriors, but then filling the insides with a lot filling the insides, that sounds kind of gross, making the interior more organic and warm. And I don't know, I just think it's a really interesting dynamic. I think it's a lot more fun to look at too, because looking at white and black constantly is honestly kind of boring. And I wanted it to be colorful without it looking childish or kitschy. I mean, it is a little kitschy. So I have a lot of impressions about Val that may or may not be true. Please make your own opinion of her. But she always has like different movie posters hanging in the background of her stream because she manages a movie theater. So there's a lot of movie-esque memorabilia in this house. I've got movie posters everywhere. There's like an implication that she's got like some collectible things. I used some of those Get Famous stuff. Oh my god, there's such a loud plane happening overhead right now. So there's a lot of like film memorabilia type things. I don't know, Val, you just come off as the kind of person who would know a lot about movies, and in like a good way, not in an uncomfortable, pretentious way, but in like a fun way that you can like share knowledge with me. I don't know. There's also a lot of plants. I'm bad at keeping plants. I don't know. Val, you tell me. Are you good at keeping plants? I'm not. Also, there's like a kid's bedroom. As far as I know, Val doesn't have any children, but I wanted this house to be playable for other people as well. I kept it limited to one bedroom, so it's easy to delete it and turn that room into something else. But there was already like an office, so I didn't want to make another office, and there was already a recording studio downstairs, so couldn't really do that. I guess I could have made an in-home theater, but that just, I mean, I don't know. There's a TV downstairs. Do you really need a... I don't know. I just had fun. I had fun. The interior took me so long because the aesthetic that I was creating is something that I don't have many reference images for. It's something that I've been doing a lot of lately. I'm just really into like yellows and rust colored reds and then mixing it with browns. I've been using a lot of the warmer wood tones that normally I don't use. I tend to gravitate towards white woods, the like pale pine woods, or those like cold brown tones. But in the past couple weeks of builds, a lot of which you guys haven't seen because it just takes me too long to edit. I'm sorry. They're coming, I swear. But I've been using a lot of these like redwood tones and orange, really warm wood tones that I've never felt comfortable using before. I think part of it is because we got a bunch of really great muted, warm color swatches from Eco Lifestyle. And so when you're using those warmer wood tones, I just feel like it looks better with reds and yellows and greens to sort of play with that contrast. And before Eco Lifestyle, we just didn't have very many things that looked good with those warmer floors. And so now I feel like the combination of Eco Lifestyle and Island Living, the furniture just goes so well together. and it looks so good. And so there's finally like warmer swatches of things that I can finally use now that I have more furniture to go with it. But I don't know, there's like this balance of not wanting it to be too colorful because that's overwhelming, but also, I don't know. I don't really know where I was going then. Disclaimer, there is a part of this build that is not functional. I tried to make it functional, but it's the waterfall making it not functional. So I haven't built it yet on the video. But eventually we get to a point where I have stairs that come off the back patio down to the swimming area of the waterfall, which is functional. You can swim in it. But I couldn't get the sim to use that path that I spent a very long time configuring. She just wouldn't. She refused to use it. She couldn't even teleport to the space at the bottom of the stairs. So I'm pretty sure I did a bunch of testing to try to make it work, and it only worked when I deleted the top waterfall. But I really wanted this house to sit directly on top of the waterfall because that's obnoxious and totally unrealistic, because where the hell is that waterfall coming from? There's no river on the other side of the house. But don't worry about it. It's fine. It's The Sims. And Val needed a waterfall. And I had to make it a 2-tier waterfall, obviously. So you can't use the stairs. But you can get in and out of the swimming pool part. And I tried to line most of the pool. Okay, so here's the secret, not secret. Here's the problem with debug items, specifically rocks and fences. The Sims don't register that as an item, so they will walk directly through it. So when I place fences that are from the debug menu, I try to use one of those teeny tiny short fences inside of it so that Sims won't route through the fence, they'll walk around the fence, but then you still get the aesthetic of the debug fence. With rocks, I try to use actual plants and actual rocks, you know what I mean, around the debug items to discourage the Sims from walking through the debug plants and debug rocks. And I tried to do that around the pool, but clearly I missed some spots because she kept, oh my god, another plane? What is going on? There's a pandemic. Go home. Okay, so I tried to line the pool with items that the Sims wouldn't walk through, but I clearly missed some spots because she insisted on getting in and out of the pool through a giant debug boulder, but whatever. Yeah. Oh my god, I swear, my neighbors are never this loud, but of course when I'm trying to record. If you follow me on Twitter, you would have seen that recently I had a squirrel living in my wall, and y'all helped settle the vote of what to call him. His name is Frederick. He still lives in my wall. They called pest people, the apartment owner place, I don't know, the people called the pest people, and the pest people came and confirmed, yep, it's a squirrel. And oh my god, my neighbor's music is so loud. Is this a cruel joke? Okay, they stopped. Whew. The pest people came and they said, yeah, it's a squirrel, and then didn't get rid of it. I think there's like a thing about some squirrels in Washington being a protected species. I don't know for sure that that's the case, or if they just, I don't know, maybe that's the humane ways to not wrangle with a squirrel, and you know, I'm all for that. So the recommendation was to clip back the tree that's outside of our apartment, and that the squirrel would, Frederick would see that the tree had been trimmed, and he would leave, because the tree is how he gets in. But they did that, and he's still here. So I don't think it worked. He was really loud last night. Oh my God. I was like, buddy, not all of us are popping off on a Friday evening. Do you mind? And of course, he always quiets down when I call my wife into the room to prove that Frederick is still here. As soon as she gets in here, he's quiet. I'm like, okay, sure. Just let everyone think I'm hallucinating. That's great. Thank you. So, if you're wondering how Frederick is, he's alive and well and still here. Still here. Oh, going back to the color palettes. I don't know how much you care about the color palettes, but one of the reasons it was so hard with this particular room is, so I knew I wanted a lot of yellows, mostly because of the exterior. I really wanted to bring that yellow inside as well, but also because, so I was pairing the red and the yellow and the orange. Those are all good, right? Those are all complementary colors. They're in the same part of the, not technically complementary. They're all in the same part of the wheel, right? And then to get some contrast, you go on the opposite end. We've got some blue, we've got the green of the plants. But then to keep it from being like crazy, I used a lot of black. The problem is with black is it's hard to figure out what wood to use. So I had a hard time deciding what wood to use. What a revolutionary sentence. For the kitchen, I really tried to clutter up the shelving that I have. It's got open shelving instead of cabinets. Just made the room feel a little bit more airy. And it lined up well with the stairs too. You'll see, it's coming. So I used a bunch of items that Simlicy had put into rooms like over a year ago. If you're interested in any of the gallery content that I use in my builds, I use a lot of like custom photos and little debug items like that, clutter items that instead of pulling them from the debug myself. You can find those on my gallery page under my favorites. I just save them there and then download them when I need them. So I cluttered up the shelves with all these dishes, but then I think my tester sim might have cleaned up the dishes. So they're not in the screenshots, but you'll get to see it here. It looks so pretty. And then I went to take screenshots and they were all gone. Not all gone, but like all the mugs and cups were gone. And I was like, oh, darn. Hey Harry has, I don't know, is she still Hey Harry or is she now Harry? But like her name isn't Harry, right? I don't know. But she has really great CC plates and cups that she and Felix did for the kitchen. And God, they're beautiful. And I want simple crap like that. Like it's like a white t-shirt, right? You can go to the store and you can get a beautiful cardigan or a patterned t-shirt, right? You can get patterned things all you want, but there will come a time where you can't wear that sweater because you don't have just a plain white t-shirt. Because you forgot, oh, I need to buy a white t-shirt. It's just one of those things that you need, but you don't remember. And I feel like when they are designing items and clutter for games, our expansion packs and stuff packs and game packs, they forget the white t-shirt. Okay? So like basic things like plates that don't count as food. Just decorative, plain plates. Decorative, plain cups. Decorative, plain plants. Plain. The key is plain. I would love a plain stuff pack. Plain stuff pack by The Sims 4. Because we need some plain things. Just plain. I don't care about wood tones. I don't care about them not matching. I feel like there's enough content in the game at this point that you can make it work. Also, most houses don't have a million. At some point, I will make a Sims version of my apartment and you will see how many goddamn wood tones are in this house. I just want plain things. We finally have plain candles that came with Eco Lifestyle. I use a lot of them in this build. We have these great debug jars, so I can like make some plain jar candle buddies, and that's great. with Nifty Knitting, they gave us hanging plants and they're gorgeous. But there's only like one that is plain. All the others are these crazy colors. And like, I just want some plain things. Just plain. I want plain things. Please, plain. I love the Nifty Knitting rugs. We have the black one and the white one. And then there's that beautiful green. That's like my favorite color right now, is that rich emerald dark green. God, it's gorgeous. I haven't really gotten to use it, but every time I see it, I'm like, that's a good swatch. Love that. Love that plain. Okay, you understand. You got it. This is a very long video. I cut out so much. I only left in one bathroom. It's the downstairs. It's also a laundry room. I would say my favorite bathroom in this house is the master bathroom. It's really cute. It's got a separate toilet. There's lots of storage. It's beautiful. But I felt like there were other things to share. I also cut out the footage of decorating the different patios. It's pretty much the same furniture over and over, but there's screenshots of it. I felt like keeping the terraforming and the waterfall and the floor plan were like the most important things to keep, because those are the most technical, and then the rest of it could kind of go either way. With the color palette that I was using and the fact that I used these terracotta tiles, there's a very like careful line between making like a Mediterranean style interior versus something that's meant to be modern but warm. And I think I did that quite well. I'm quite pleased with that. It was a surprisingly weird floor plan to do, but if you're interested, I shared on Twitter my notes that I did, because every build that I do, I make like, not necessarily like a full-on mood board, but I have a couple of reference images that I want to use. I generally draw out the first floor of the floor plan and list out like what colors I want to use or what wood tones I'm planning, or if there's specific build item pieces that I know I'm going to want, I'll sort of list that down there. So if you're interested, I'll link it in the description. It'll take you straight to the tweet. But the bottom floor plan is pretty close to what I originally drawn out. It's bigger. I originally planned on this build being, how many is that? 8? 8 tiles wide. And I think it ends up being 10 or 11. It turned out much bigger. And I was just planning on it being like this yellow portion. I didn't plan on the wings that go on the outside, and I didn't plan on it being 3 full stories. I was just picturing like 2 and then the top floor being half walls. But no, it made it much bigger. And it worked out great, because then there was plenty of room for a recording studio and an office and a bedroom. And there's like a little game room, and I think this is a great representation of like a big house, but it still feels cozy. I think oftentimes mansions, because there's so much space, it can be hard to fill it. But it really helps if you break up if you break up the space more. So like in the master bedroom, the floor plan was really hard for me to figure out in the master bedroom. I was really struggling figuring out how to break up the space. And so I finally just like put a wall and made a separate entryway, and that really helped separate things. And ironically, closing up the space can help you open up the space. And this isn't even that big of a house. This is only a 40 by 30 lot, but like every single corner is used without it being overly cluttered or overwhelming. And I had all sorts of fun, quirky like movie posters. There's in the downstairs, I don't know if I show you the footage of it or not, but I put like what looks like supposed to be like a sign for a movie theater, like on the out, like an exterior movie sign, but I put it on the inside, and it's fun and it's a pop of color. I just feel like, Val, you seem like the kind of person where your dream house would have fun, eclectic, antique pieces like that without it feeling dusty. It would be like fun and funky without it being, I don't know, like an old person's antique house. Y'all know what I mean? Yes? No? Maybe so? I end up changing out the swatches for these beds too. I felt like the kids' room would be slightly brighter and slightly more colorful than the rest of the house. So I changed them for the Tiny Living blue bed sheets, which is almost like too many colors. It's borderline too much. But that's okay. I liked it. And I got to use these collapsible looking movie set chairs. I'm obsessed with them right now, but I haven't been able to use them in a house really. So I was excited to get to use those. I used those at least like 3 or 4 times in this house. Quite a lot, but I also felt like it kind of goes with like the movie music theme. And it just makes it feel a little bit more casual too. I don't know. It was fun. It was fun building this house. It was fun building a house for somebody else. Yeah. So I'm thinking I might do this again. I have a couple people in mind. But if you have a recommendation, or oh my god, my neighbors. Or if you would like to have a house made for you, I'm definitely open to this like being like a thing that I continue to do. It's fun to have limitations. You get to use objects that maybe you don't use as often. This is a very long voiceover. And to be honest, it's going to be one of my really casual voiceovers. I'm not going to edit out very much, so you get a insight into my mind. I can hear Frederick. I'm in my bedroom recording this with my back against the wall that he lives in, and I heard him. I heard his little scritches. So who knows, you might even get to hear Frederick. Wow. What a thrilling prospect. Star Wars got announced. I've kind of shared my thoughts about it on Twitter. If you're interested, go check out my Twitter feed. I'm not as upset as a lot of the community is. I will say this, one thing that I kind of love about it is I feel like this pack is one of the first packs that I don't feel like I have to own. And I haven't felt like that since The Sims 2. A little bit with The Sims 3. With The Sims 2, I don't know how you guys found the expansions if you played it, but I really only heard about or saw new expansions when my family went to Target and I had saved up enough allowance. And so I didn't get to have the packs very often. Granted, for Sims 2 there weren't that many, but it was like every couple of months, maybe I would get a new pack. And it would be with my own money that I saved up, and I didn't know what Target would have available. I'd just sort of have to pick from what they had. And there were some times where I left without a pack because I wasn't interested in what was there. With The Sims 3, I had a little bit more online access, but I never saw any of the trailers. I think eventually I had all the expansions, not all the stuff packs, but all the expansions. But there wasn't like an urgency to have them as much. And with The Sims 4, because it does feel like there's less content per pack, I really want every pack that comes out because I want more to choose from. And it's kind of nice that for once there's a pack that's coming out and I feel like it's an option. So I do kind of like that aspect. And someone on Twitter made an excellent point that at least they didn't feature a long sought item that sort of tricks you into buying the pack. Like with My First Pet stuff, if you wanted hamsters, if you wanted small animals, or if you wanted more kids furniture, you kind of have to buy it. But this is more of like, the what was it? It was like 60s, 70s, 80s Sims 3 stuff pack. Like, it very much feels like that. It feels like a choice that I get to make. And I'm probably gonna make the choice, I'm gonna be honest. Not because I'm a completionist, but because I am a builder and I love having more debug items. And I like the guided story play. I liked it a lot in Strangerville. I was surprised how much I liked Strangerville. I really do. And I've played the storyline of Strangerville like 3 times. I think the world is gorgeous. Yes, it's too small, but it's gorgeous. So I probably will get the Star Wars pack. And I'm excited to see what debug items we have. The light options, not just in debug, but the lighting. Ooh, I'm excited. They look so industrial. Some of the industrial lights we have in-game, the lights are really focused. So when you hang the light, it's almost like a spotlight and it doesn't light up the whole room. And I usually have to cheat and put like a light, I have to merge lights together to give the appearance that it lights up the whole room. But those lights that were in the trailer look, I mean, it is a trailer, it's hard to tell, but I don't know, they look industrial without being too focused. And that has me excited. Très excitement. I never completed French, can you tell? So, you know, you can share your thoughts with me on Strangerville if you'd like. Not Strangerville, Star Wars if you'd like. But I'm a lot more excited about the skin tone update that we're gonna get and whatever pack they'll put out for the holidays. I'm excited to see what that brings, but I think you're not gonna see any like Star Wars specific content from me. I never really paid attention to the movies or the franchise, so I don't have any builds that are specific that I want to do from them, but I do want to check out the debug items. I think they might offer some opportunity, and there is some speculation from people that we might have the ability to place 2 windows on the same wall tile because of one of the windows that was in the trailer, but I think that it's just like a single window that has the appearance of being stacked windows. I don't think we're actually gonna get that mechanic. That mechanic has never existed in any of the games. I think it's really hard to code for that, and yeah, I just have a hard time believing that that is something that they would give to us first before like bunk beds, because bunk beds, they already have the animations for it, and it would be a lot cheaper in time and resources to give us that before they give us stacked windows. I would be very surprised if we have stacked windows. I don't think we're going to. But I love that it's a window that looks stacked, and the type of style that it is, even though it is like for Star Wars, I think it would fit really well in Sulani with those like paneled windows. So it could be fun to do like a beach house. Ooh, it's gonna be fun taking the items and making them not Star Wars. That's what I'm most excited for. Just like with Eco Lifestyle, it's fun to take these items that are supposed to be like recycled, IKEA, eco-friendly, and like put them in really expensive looking situations. It's fun to play with that. Contrast, duplicity, I don't know what fancy word I want. I'm tired. I've been talking for 34 minutes. I don't know what I want to say. Anyway, I hope you like this house. I hope you like listening to me rant about color palettes and wood swatches. Wow, I talked a lot about that, didn't I? Val, I hope you like your house. I don't know if it necessarily feels like it's for you, but I do like it, and I do, you know, you're classy. That threw me off, and I kind of threw that out the window, and I wasn't really thinking about it at all when I built this. I don't think this is very classy, at least in like a traditional sense. When I think classy, I think classic, elegant, and this isn't necessarily elegant, but it's definitely homey. It's definitely modern. And yeah, so anyway, thanks for watching, you guys. I will see you next Sunday.